We're preparing for the second race of the weekend here in the Cox Motor Parts Civic Cup at Silverstone, and we've got a reverse grid pole for Mark Gibbons. Mark, that's not a bad bit of fortune after qualifying. It was a bit interesting.
Yeah, went off on the first lap, flying lap in qualifying, did a lot of damage to the car, and ended up P27. So to get back to 10th in the first race and to be on pole now, it's just it's pretty lucky, to be honest.
So you've literally gone from the back to the front. Can you hold off the pack of dogs chasing you behind?
I'm not going to hold them off, I'm going to pull away.
Oh, I'm liking that. That's good confidence, Mark. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Well, the drivers have just been called to the grid, so it's time to get on with racing.
The Silverstone National Circuit has been resurfaced in its entirety over the course of the winter, and so there's not that much rubber down. Pretty much all the running we've had on the circuit thus far has been in wet conditions, so not much rubber's been laid down. It's a green track for everybody, and that could cause a few issues, possibly, for the unwary. You'll see the novice cross on the back of a few cars as well. We'll see that throughout the day, the yellow box with the black cross in it. That means that the driver of that car is a relative newcomer to racing, but it's not uncommon. The championship, like the Civic Cup in particular, a great starting point for racing drivers trying to get into the sport. It's not uncommon to see novice drivers making their way towards the very sharp end. Back few rows then nearly in position. Mark Gibbons and Tim Evans make up your front row. Paul Bancroft and Daniel Hobson row 2. And this is a 15-minute race, so short, sharp action here at Silverstone from the Cox Motor Parts Civic Cup. And we are getting ready to go. There's the 5-second board. We watch for the red lights to come on, which they will do in a moment or so. And then there they go. When they go out, we're racing, we're away. Who makes the best start from row the grid? It's a fairly even start. It looks like Mark Gibbons maybe gets his nose in front on the run down towards Cops Corner. Everyone cleanly away, but it's wheel to wheel, and Tim Evans will grab the lead. So Tim Evans gets the lead in towards Cops Corner. There is Daniel Reason. Daniel Reason, remember, our race 1 winner, the black Civic, but it is still side by side for the lead. Look at this, on the inside line, Tim Evans, on the outside line in the red car is Mark Gibbons, and trying to buy into it all. That looks as though that's number 25 car of Daniel Hobson. Around the outside of the lot of them comes Jason Ballantyne. It's very close indeed. 3 abreast for second place. Bit of bumping and boring, because somehow they all stay on the black stuff. But that was remarkable racing. Jason Ballantyne there, the orange and black car, came storming around the outside and very nearly got himself into second place. So it's Tim Evans that leads the way. Here comes Daniel Hobson, the blue car on the inside. He's got second place. Ballantyne is still fighting for third position there with our pole sitter Mark Gibbons, who tries to hang tough around the outside of Brooklands. That gives him the inside line for Luffield, and he will take the place. As meanwhile, there goes Hobson going for the race lead. So this is the typical frenetic action we expected from a reverse grid 15-minute race, and it is still side by side for leaders. Right around the outside of Luffield has gone Daniel Hobson, and with the momentum around the outside of Woodcote, I think he might just do this and dislodge Tim Evans from the race lead. Well, what an exciting start to the race we've had here. Evans trying to hang up on the inside line. Round the outside goes Hobson, he'll do it. So Hobson gets the lead away through Cops Corner. Daniel Hobson, having started 4th already, has got himself into the race lead, and that looks like Mark Gibbons back into second place. How's he done that? He was 4th the last time we saw him, but he's now into second position. He's got himself back ahead of Ballantyne and ahead of the early race leader Tim Evans. Back through Beckett's we go then. Also now joining in the party is Rob Baker there. That's the blue number 6 car. 5th place at the moment. Draws himself alongside Tim Evans down the Wellington Straight. Now, that's worked okay so far, but that's now the outside line for Brooklands. How's this one going to pan out? Race leader Daniel Hobson starting to pull away as Ballantyne goes on the inside of Gibbons. That's for second position. Nice move that on the inside in towards Brooklands. He makes that look very easy. Textbook stuff. Oh no, but there's contact. Gibbons gets into the side of him. Ballantyne saves it. Not only does he save it, but he holds on to second position. Remarkable stuff there from Jason Ballantyne, and he survives. Gibbons appears to possibly be in trouble there. I think that car may have been wounded in the contact there through Luffield Corner, and it wouldn't be at all surprised to see that car making its way into the pit lane. Well, that was close quarter stuff. They've been racing within inches of each other since the start of the race, and that really was the first significant bit of contact we've seen. So, black number 77 car, that's our race 1 winner, Daniel Reason. Daniel crossed the line that time around in 5th position, so he's really gained out of all of that. Lewis Rose was the other front runner from yesterday's race. He appears to have fallen a little bit by the wayside at the start of this one, so we'll have to try and catch up with what happened to our runner-up in yesterday's race. But the race leader, there's no doubt about that, it is number 25, Daniel Hobson, who has taken full advantage of the dicing going on behind him and has pulled quite a sizable lead. Right, here's the replay. Well, you can see what Gibbons was thinking. He tried to hang tough around the outside at Brooklands, gives him the inside for Luffield, but Ballantyne was always going to turn in and try to make the corner. Jason got away with it. Unfortunately, the same can't be said of Mark. So our race leader, Daniel Hobson, exits Lovefield corner. Ballantyne is still in second place. Third place is the number 33 machine, which is Tim Evans, who of course led on the opening lap. And then Rob Baker, number 6, coming through in 4th position. Then side-by-side battle going on for 5th, and that was Daniel Reason starting to make further progress in the number 77 car. 16 flashing through there is Matt Bolton, having a nice little battle out through Copse corner. Matt Bolton making his way down towards Brooklands corner, and side by side with him around the outside is Mark Grice, who locks up the brakes. He's very deep on the brakes into Beckett, but he does manage to make the position stick, so nice move there. So it is Hobson leading, Ballantyne second. You can see a slow car off in the distance as well, which may or may not cause issues for the leaders. I presume it's on its way into the pit lane, and we hope that it will get there before the leading pack arrive, because what a leading pack it is. We've got the top, well, if you discount the race leader, we've got second back to about 8th place, nose to tail. Daniel Reason there going up the inside through Brooklands, picking up another position, or does he? Because the number 24 car fighting right back through Luffield will, I think, take the position back. Number 24 being Ben Sharp. Back through Woodcote we go, number 37 there. Everyone, no matter where you are in the field, everybody has someone to battle with, don't they? That's one of the joys of one-make racing, of course. Civic Cup catering for a couple of different shapes of cars, but they more or less all run the 2-litre Honda VTEC engine. So here's a replay of the start. This was, it seems like an age ago, doesn't it? Everyone got away from the line cleanly, and we had some fantastic racing over the first half lap. You can see some of the drivers from the back trying to make good progress. There was a bit of cement dust down at Copse corner from a previous qualifying session. Mark Gibbons there dicing away with Tim Evans into Copse corner. And speaking of Mark Gibbons, that is he in the pit lane. And as we suspected, there is a little bit of damage to the front left corner. It looks like the team are having a look. Could be steering, could be suspension, and Daniel Reason, our race one winner, arrives in shot completely sideways there. The black number 77 car in the background. In the foreground, we have got Tim Evans doing his very best to hold on to position here. That's the number 34 car of Mark Grice, trying to creep around the outside. Mark, who was 3rd in yesterday's race, so hence started 8th for this one, and has just slowly but surely worked his way through the field. He is now to the outside of Tim Evans into Copse corner. It's a brave man who tries to go around the outside at Copse. He tried it. Did it work? Looks like it might have done. He's carried good momentum off the corner, and yes, gets across to defend the place, and Evans might even lose another position now as well to Matt Bolton, who gets alongside, and Matt Bolton goes through as well. So 2 more places lost, unfortunately, for our early race leader, and now he's got his teammate up the inside as well. That's Sharp, isn't it? The number 24 car trying to find a way through. First rule of motorsport is that you do not take out your teammate, and thankfully they kept it clean underneath the bridge down the Wellington straight. So keep an eye on Mark Grice. He's now got a bit of clean air in front of him to try and chase down the top 3. Look at all this going on through the left-hander at Brooklands. Bruce Winfield, that is, in the number 37 car, who started 17th. He's got himself right into the mix here. That's the white and black Jap Speed liveried machine. He's really made good progress up through the order. Tim Evans, though, sadly loses another 2 places in the space of a couple of corners. So the number 33 car, having started on the front row, is now starting to fade a bit. 8 minutes still remain in this race, by the way, so we're not quite halfway through the second round of the Copse Motorparts Civic Cup. Back through Copse they go. There's Daniel Reason. Now, Daniel Reason, I thought, might have stormed through the field a little bit more rapidly than this, but he's just taking his time, trying to keep his powder dry, I guess, knowing that he's trying to build a championship campaign right from the word go. Side by side again. Now this is, look at this, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, about a dozen cars, I'd say, nose to tail, all jockeying for position from about 4th place on back. This is for 2nd position though, and this is Rob Baker going up the inside, or thinking about going up the inside of Jason Ballantyne. Headlights ablaze for Rob Baker, which is racing driver code for I'm quicker than you, get out of my way, but it's very rare that the defending driver takes much notice of that. Back down through Lovefield, number 27 car there, trying to make a move up the inside. That is James Griffith. Now, James, remember, was one of those drivers I mentioned, got tangled up at the start of race 1 and started from the back. 28th is where James Griffith started, and he is working his way now towards the tail end of the top 10. So a really good fight back. In fact, he's nearly on terms with our race 1 winner. So good stuff that from Griffith. David Vincent, the other one who was trying to file his way through after a non-finish yesterday. Out of Copse Corner they go, and we have a brief moment of calm. How long will it last, though? Because it looks to me as though Ben Sharp is sizing up for a move here, trying to go around the outside of the number 16 car of Matt Bolton. It didn't work, though, and in fact, he's lost quite a bit of momentum as a result. So here comes Bruce Winfield. We'll check in on that in a moment, though, because Rob Baker looks like he's finally made his move up the inside of Jason Ballantyne. This is for second position. Inside line into Brooklands now. Can Ballantyne go around the outside here to get the inside for Luffield? It's fraught with danger, but he might still have an overlap. Not quite. Baker runs a bit wide, though. He wasn't sure whether he could turn in there. There's a bit of paint traded. Baker a bit sideways. Nothing wrong there, though. He holds on to the position, and he is now into second place. So Rob Baker started 5th and has worked his way now into the runner-up position. But what is his gap to the race leader? It's 3 seconds. He's got just under 6 minutes left, and Ballantyne's coming back at him, in fact, as they went into Copse Corner there. I don't think that quite paid off. Meanwhile, side by side again, that's Bolton on the inside of Sharp. And Bruce Winfield buys into all of that as well, gets up the inside and might just pick up another place. He's already into 7th. That would be for 6th position for Winfield from 17th on the grid. Oh, contact with the back marker there. Jason Ballantyne got into the side of a lapped car. The 3rd place runner made contact there with a back marker that was doing his best to stay out of the way. I think he survived it, but possibly a little bit of damage. Let's see a replay of that. Yeah, just as they disappeared out of shot, the back marker tried to cut across to a late apex, and Ballantyne was there. And that car is crabbing its way down the back straight now as the rest of the top 10 file through. Bolton has indeed lost a couple of positions, although interestingly not to Bruce Winfield. It's actually the 27 car of James Griffith that got through. So that, by my reckoning, puts Griffith either 6th or 7th. We'll get a check on that when he comes across the line, but that's not bad going from 28th on the grid for the red number 27 machine that's just towards the front of this little pack, and he's going on the attack again now to try and find a way past Sharp. Ben Sharp doesn't feel the need to defend into Copse Corner. That's probably the only corner on the circuit here at Silverstone where attempting an overtaking manoeuvre isn't necessarily recommended, but everywhere else on the Silverstone national layout really does lend itself to overtaking and close quarters racing, as we've seen throughout this race. 5-second penalty we're being notified of. This is for one of our top 10 runners as well. It's for Matt Bolton. So Matt Bolton running in 7th place on our screen now. The grey and white car has been given a 5-second time penalty, we assume, for exceeding the track limits. So that will be added to his race time when the checkered flag comes out, and that will drop him down several positions, well outside the top 10. Meanwhile, our race leader, Daniel Hobson, heads through. Remember him. Rob Baker is quicker than him. He took half a second out of the race leader last time around. He's got just under 4 minutes left to try and close the gap, and that gap is 2.5 seconds. Oh, off into the gravel trap. That's going to cost several positions, I fear, to Ben Sharp. He'll have dirt all over his tyres as well. Yeah, here comes Matt Bolton trying to pull alongside. He's already lost a place to James Griffith as a result of that. Baker tried to go around the outside into Copse Corner, gets muscled out onto the curb though by Sharp. He was having absolutely none of that. So he recovers from that little moment, having only lost 1 position. Rob Baker then heading through Beckett's Corner, 2nd place for him. Actually lost a couple of tenths to the race leader last time around, so the gap's gone back out now to 2.7 seconds. He makes his way down the back straight. There's the man he's chasing. That is Daniel Hobson, who has taken full advantage of the reverse grid race in that he started 4th, having finished 7th in yesterday's race. But such is the competitive nature of the Cox Motorparts Civic Cup, drivers that are finishing towards the back end of the top 10 are equally capable of winning races when the opportunity presents itself. Look at all of this. We've got Winfield there at the inside gaining a position, and Daniel Reason, the black car there, our race 1 winner, is trying desperately to get involved but does not want to damage the car and ruin what has thus far been a good weekend. A wing goes flying. Reason gets up the inside there of the 104 car. This is all getting very close indeed. Dan Chapman, that is, that Daniel Reason is trying to get past. We've got DL and Buki in behind. David Buki as well, who's made some good progress up the grid. And they're all about to descend on Copse Corner together. Daniel Reason on the inside line, trying to find a way through, but Chapman holds sway on the outside line. Reason sideways. He's trying to cover from the cars behind as well as attack for the position in front of him, and it looks like he'll be successful, yes. So Daniel Reason does pick up the place, and DL follows him through as well. So good stuff there from Martin DL, who started 31st on the grid. The number 4 car there, the blue and fluorescent yellow car, 31st on the grid after a lap 1 retirement yesterday, and he also has made his way into the top 10 now. So great stuff from several drivers who started from fairly lowly, well, extremely lowly grid positions. Back on the inside though now goes Chapman, so he puts DL down another spot into Brooklands. This is all for about 10th and 11th positions. So Chapman was 10th at the start of the lap. That has changed several times though since then, as the leaders come through, and we have a new fastest lap for the race leader, in fact. So Daniel Hobson really looking strong, but that then is immediately beaten actually by the 4th place man Mark Grice. So Mark Grice now takes away the fastest lap. That is worth 1 championship point as well for the fastest lap set during each race. So there are 25 points available for a race victory, plus the bonus point for a fastest lap, and that bonus point at the moment is going the way of Mark Grice in 4th, who has now caught Jason Ballantyne. So that 3rd place battle might be interesting over the last lap or so. Leader down towards Brooklands for what will be the penultimate time. We've got 45 seconds left on the clock, so he will have time to finish this lap and have 1 more to go. No real pressure for Daniel Hobson as he makes his way through Luffield. Rob Baker is not going to catch him, but for 3rd place, it's game on. And this has been a race-long battle, hasn't it? Winfield going around the outside. Oh, there's a slow car that they split down the middle. That was the 137 car of Natasha Tressler, who was trying her best to stay out of the way, but she had a car to the inside, a car to the outside, and absolutely nothing she could do to get out of the way. She now pulls to driver's left and lets the screaming pack go through. Bit of bodywork flapping loose there on the back of Martin Tiel's car, but that shouldn't be affecting him too badly. Leaders file their way through Copse Corner for the final time. David Buki there ahead of Bancroft as they make their way through Copse and back down towards Beckett's. It's now Last Chance Saloon for all of these guys to try and make up an extra position. They're 3 abreast. Daniel Reason involved in this. Matt Bolton's in there as well, and they make a bit of contact. But Daniel Reason, he eases Bolton out wide, and this could cost Bolton an awful lot. He's going to lose at least 2 positions, maybe more. DL gets alongside. David Buki is next in line to try and get through as well, and Bancroft also. All of this matters little to this man, because Daniel Hobson is about to come through and take a victory here at Silverstone. It's been a beautifully judged race from the man who started 4th on the grid, and round number 2 of the Cox Motor Parts Civic Cup is won by Daniel Hobson. Great drive from Daniel. He takes the checkered flag and the 25 points to go with it. Rob Baker will come home 2nd, and Jason Ballantyne will just hang on to 3rd position from Mark Grice by the looks of it. And then it will be Griffith coming through next ahead of Sharp. The battle's running right the way to the checkered flag, and you can see here again that everywhere throughout the field there are battles going on, and they're usually multi-car packs of cars heading through and changing position pretty much lap by lap. Well, a fantastic start to the day here at Silverstone. A victory for Daniel Hobson, and the racing in the Cox Motor Parts Civic Cup is set to continue in this way all season. They have made their debut with the BRSCC this weekend at Silverstone, and the drivers are all really enjoying themselves. They're all enjoying the big grids, the close racing, and it's hard to argue with that, really, isn't it, when you see the quality of racing that we had throughout the field there.
Well, Dan, how about that? Finally, top step of the podium in Civic Cup. That must be an amazing moment.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I've never managed to stand on the podium before, and yeah, done it in style there. Yeah, really happy.
Especially in the way that you won it as well, when this is such a close championship, to pull out that gap and disappear. That must have felt quite strange out there.
Yeah, the opening lap was the first couple of corners were a bit messy. We all got a bit bunched up, and I just sort of kept stuck in. I thought I really wanted it. I wanted to stand on the podium this weekend, and I just managed to get some fast laps straight in and yeah, set the pace, and it were really good, chuffed to bits.
Well, you know you don't have to worry about the first win, you now have to worry about keeping up with some more of them.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice to fight for the championship this year. There's a hell of a lot of good drivers, and the cars are so close. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the season now. It's put me right in the position for a good challenge.
Well, enjoy the moment. You have certainly earned it. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Rob, 2nd place to finish the weekend here in Civic Cup. That was a pretty thrilling battle with you and Jason at the early stages.
Yeah, I had really good battle with Tim for 3 laps trying to get past him, and then me and Jason had a good battle yesterday, and then today the same. Unfortunately, he had a back marker, got in his way basically at turn 2, which dropped him back after I got past. But dead chuffed to be back. Haven't raced in Civic Cup for 2 years now, so to come away with a 6th and a 2nd from the first weekend, dead happy with it. Obviously, yeah, the rest of the team, you know, we area motorsport ourselves, we we run a lot of Civics out there, and all the guys have done brilliant this weekend. A lot of new drivers, a lot of new cars, so yeah, really good.
Great to get the buzz back in the best possible way, eh?
Yeah, I've done some endurance stuff last year with Carl, who's racing TCR, Carl Swift. We did a few races last year in some other cars that we have, but yeah, doing sprint racing's different league really.
Fantastic. Hopefully there's more of this to come. Well, after 2 fantastic races here at Silverstone, it's been great to welcome the Civic Cup to the BRSCC. Hopefully there'll be even more cars out on the grid next time. If you want to get on that grid, head to the website civiccup.co.uk. See you next time.